Sabi niya, this clearly refers to the position of the ICC prosecution and not to the families of the complainants, as the Manila Times erroneously reported. So, pinaalala ni VP na mali yung slant na binibigay ng Manila Times doon sa kanyang statement. Ang kini-question niya is yung basis. Why would the prosecution oppose the petition for interim release of an accused based on the statement of family members? Yung family members doon, siya at saka mga kapatid niya and other relatives, hindi family members ng mga biktima. So ang laki-laki ng difference. There is clearly here an attempt to spin yung sinabi niya to make her look callous, angry at the alleged angry at victims and so on. She's doing nothing of the sort. She's questioning the evidentiary value. Ay, ulitin ko, the evidentiary value in relation to the of her statements and the statements of family members in relation to the interim release of her father. Ulitin ko. Ang kini-question niya, bakit ginagamit yung sinabi niya o sinabi ng mga kamag-anak niya para i-oppose yung interim release ng tatay niya. Hindi niya kinwestiyon kung bakit ginagamit ang mga statements ng pamilya ng mga biktima. Ang topic natin ngayong araw na ito ay yung pagko-correct ni VP Inday ng at least within the last 2 weeks, 2 beses siya nag-correct ng media reports tungkol sa kanya. Actually, more than one. Yung dalawa where she issued statements, pero in others, during media interviews, she has been very clear or she has corrected misimpressions and misquotes attributed to her. So, i-analyze muna natin bakit ito ang nangyayari and why this is good news for the rest of us. In June 2026, this year, the Office of the Vice President called the attention of the editorial and reportorial teams of the Manila Times regarding its misleading banner story published in June entitled, Sarah, Why Would Drug War Victims' Families Object? Okay? Pinalabas at hinedline ng Manila Times na si VP Inday ay nag-question kung bakit mag-o-object ang mga pamilya ng mga biktima sa application for interim release ng kanyang ama. Sabi niya, the headline and lead paragraph of the story are false, malicious, and inaccurate. Sa press briefing, ito niliwanag niya na during the press briefing noong June 25, may nagtanong concerning the opposition filed by the ICC prosecutors on the interim release. So, in-address ni Vice President yung basis cited by the prosecutors. Hindi niya kinwestiyon kung bakit nag-o-oppose ang victims' families. Kinwestiyon niya yung grounds na sinasite ng prosecutors. Sabi niya, according to the statement, the Vice President was specifically addressing the basis cited by prosecutors, statements from family members of the accused, including herself, suggesting that the former president had been kidnapped by the tribunal. The Vice President's direct quote, kinorek niya, ang sabi niya, the quote was, sorry but I do not understand why the prosecution would oppose the petition for interim release of an accused based on the statements of family members. Malaki po ang difference ng dalawa. Sabi niya, this clearly refers to the position of the ICC prosecution and not to the families of the complainants, as the Manila Times erroneously reported. So, pinaalala ni VP na mali yung slant na binibigay ng Manila Times doon sa kanyang statement. Ang kini-question niya is yung basis. Why would the prosecution oppose the petition for interim release of an accused based on the statement of family members? Yung family members doon, siya at saka mga kapatid niya and other relatives, hindi family members ng mga biktima. So ang laki-laki ng difference. There is clearly here an attempt to spin yung sinabi niya to make her look callous, angry at the alleged angry at victims and so on. She's doing nothing of the sort. She's questioning the evidentiary value. Ay, ulitin ko, the evidentiary value in relation to the of her statements and the statements of family members in relation to the interim release of her father. Ulitin ko. Ang kini-question niya, bakit ginagamit yung sinabi niya o sinabi ng mga kamag-anak niya para i-oppose yung interim release ng tatay niya. Hindi niya kinwestiyon kung bakit ginagamit ang mga statements ng pamilya ng mga biktima. That was June 26 statement. Sabi niya, disinformation yon. And of course. Okay. Next, today, July 1, nag-release na naman ng statement si Vice President. This time on the Manila Standard story na sinasabi na according to her daw ay dapat gawing museum yung bahay ng tatay niya. So, ang nakalagay doon sa Manila Standard, front page din, VP Sara opposes sale, wants Roddy's house to be a museum. Ayon doon sa statement ni VP Inday, the article falsely claims that Vice President Sara Duterte is opposed to the sale of former President Rodrigo Duterte's home in Davao City, allegedly saying she wants to preserve the house and convert it into a museum for fans and supporters to visit and see where her father used to eat, sleep, and spend most of his free time. Sabi niya, fabrication, hindi niya sinabi yan. Fabrication yung quote na sinabi din niya, that the house will serve as the fans' reminders or souvenir of my father's favorite areas in the home. She made no such statement. Ay malaking bagay yan for her because Finland page pa niya yan. It is, the article makes it look like she is dynasty building. She is building, she's making her father an iconic figure and so on. She doesn't have to. Okay, that's the big difference here. She doesn't have to. Sabi niya, while it's true that during an interview on May 12, 2025, she mentioned the possibility of opening her father's house to the public, she issued no statement concerning the reported sale of the property since the related news began circulating only this last weekend nung pinag-usapan natin na may for sale sign na nakahang doon sa gate ng bahay ni tatay. Sabi ng OVP, the OVP calls on the Manila Standard to immediately issue a correction and publish an erratum. Okay. So, dalawa yan ha, in very recent, ilang days lang apart. So, mayroon din siyang recent correction. Nilinaw niya na hindi Australia yung isang bansa na pinili para sa interim release at hindi nila in-applyan ito. If I remember correctly, meron siyang statement na Australia might be considered but it never happened. So, she corrected that as well. Now, the question is, why has she been very active? Why have her people been very active about this? With 2028 in mind, importante na kinokontrol niya at natin lahat how they will keep trying to portray her. Lumabas ang mga surveys. Very recently, ano yung mga recent surveys? Ito, Philippine Public Opinion Monitor just released their survey very recently. Kailan ba ito ginawa? Hindi maliwanag. April 2025. And on partisanship, ito yung response, ang resulta ng kanilang survey. 40% of Filipinos identify themselves as supporters of Duterte's and their allies. Only 15% said that they support the Marcoses and their allies. Ang dami kasing false, kala nila. In contrast, 14% identified as supporters of the opposition, such as Leni Robredo, Rizon Tiveros, and their allies, while 31% remain undecided. Remember, this 31% is our target audience. These are the people we, all of us here, the supporters of VP Inday, are targeting to bring over to her side for a sure win in 2028. Okay. So, ito yung key findings. Vice President Sara Duterte continues to lead as top presidential choice among Filipinos with an 8-point increase from the last survey. Ulitin ko ha, 8-point increase from the last survey. So it means that itong pag-iikot niya, yung continued connection niya with Philippine audiences, yung kanyang whatever it is she's doing, no? All the continuation of the projects of the OVP, despite the fact na kukonti lang ang kanyang budget and she never even asked for an increase in her budget, she continues to be very present in people's minds and in the minds of constituents. Okay? Tuloy-tuloy pa rin siya na perceived na nagtatrabaho, tuloy-tuloy pa rin siya unshakable in her work. At ang mga nagsusuporta sa kanya, unshakable din. Congratulations to all of us, all of you, especially who support the Vice President. Now, this is what she's doing para matulungan natin siya. Intindihin natin kung ano ang ginagawa niya. Sunod-sunod kasi yung ginawa ng Marcos administration. Pinakamatindi yung pagbabakbak during the congressional inquiries. At marami dun sa mga naratiba na ini-establish nila during those inquiries, ginagamit pa rin ng mga trolls. The difference, hindi naging permanente yung naratiba na yon. Nagbago. Particularly, mas vocal na ang mga sumusuporta kay VP Inday, particularly after the 2025 elections. So what is she doing? She's detoxifying her image. Pinapakita niya na tuloy-tuloy yung kanyang trabaho, yung portrayal ng kabila na siya ay corrupt, na siya ay emotional, na siya ay threatening, na siya ay kumbaga she threatens violence and all that. These are quickly becoming things of the past. Bakit? Nothing beats sa Filipino audiences yung consistency. Consistency ng trabaho, consistency ng kanyang mga sinasabi, consistency sa kanyang paghahatid ng maiging buhay para sa mga Pilipino. Tuloy-tuloy yan. This is part of her father's narrative, a comfortable life for all Filipinos, di ba? Tuloy-tuloy pa rin yan. And by the way, do not forget that you all had a role in this. Naalala nyo yung sunod-sunod na bakbakan, pati yung paggamit, and this is very controversial statement, so heads up sa inyo. Yung kanyang pag-endorso kay Senadora Amy Marcos was turned into a huge campaign to discredit the Vice President, to discredit Inday Sara as a candidate for 2028. Okay? Tignan ninyo, yung endorsement niya kay Amy Marcos, ginagamit nila para bakbakin ang suporta ng mga tao for her campaign, for the campaign of the Vice President. Wasn't even really about Amy, it's about what VP Inday needs and needed at the time. So, aware of the brickbats, aware of the attack si VP Inday, so she is also giving warning, kumbaga, dito sa mainstream. Her warning is this: you do not get to misquote me. I will not let you take hold of this narrative using me. Kumbaga, hindi nyo pwedeng isangkalan si VP Inday sa naratiba na gustong ibigay o gawin o i-impose ng mainstream media. Okay, so ayan, ibig sabihin, may pinakikinggan kayo na na-drown out. Sabi ni Ronnie, paki-educate yung iba kung ano ang nagawa ni VP. Sinasabi kasi nung iba na useless VP Inday kasi wala naman siyang nagawa as VP. First of all, ano ang sinasabi ng saligang batas pagdating sa trabaho ng Vice President? Ang trabaho niya is to be the successor. Yun lang. The moment that the President becomes incompetent to dispense his functions as the President of the country, the Vice President will take over. There is no other choice. There is no other move. She takes over. Okay? So, that is her job. So pag sinabi nilang walang nagawa si VP, what did they expect them to do? Because if they're saying she has to do her job, parang sinasabi nila, incompetent ng presidente, take over na. Because that is the Vice President's sole and only duty. Now, other Vice Presidents, before, because they have so much time, they do public service work. That is not their job. That is just a commitment to make themselves useful while they are waiting for the Constitution to kick in on when she should take over. So, yung mga naratiba na ganyan, ano bang nagawa ni Inday? Teka muna, ano bang gusto ninyong gawin niya? Gusto ninyo i-fulfill niya yung constitutional duty niya? Sige, ipa-declare na natin na incompetent yung nakaupo so that she can do her job. That makes no sense. Tandaan ninyo, it makes no sense to demand anong nagawa ni VP. She is not even required to do anything else, but she does so many other projects. Okay? Mayroon siyang mga feeding programs na mimigayan ng bigas, pagkaya, within the budget, and so on. May tree planting siya kamakailan. Did you see that one? Ano ba yung mga recent activities? Parati namin pinopost yan yung mga activities ni VP. Okay. Dami. Ipopost ko na lang lahat ng iba. So, yung pinaka-recent was tree planting, and before that, she meets even with labor sector, meets with the farmers, etc. Libreng sakay. Okay? Meron din. So, those of you who know, welcome po yung mga yung mga sabihan niyo kami or i-post niyo dito sa comment section kung ano ang iba pang mga proyekto na in-undertake ni VP. O meron din siyang parang trabaho na program. Meron din mga grants. Thank you kay Sir Jake. Wow, maraming salamat. Yung iba kasi, sabi ni Jeff, ayaw nilang basahin o sabihin yung 1987 Constitution na yon. Di nila kayang sabihin yung primary duty sa Constitution yon, even Malacanang. Ayun, negosyo magnegosyo kaday. Ayan. May mga, meron pa bang burial? Kasi walang budget last year eh. So yon, negosyo, trabaho. She is also pointing out the role of mainstream in building narratives against her. For or against, pwede rin naman. But she is also very well aware na kadalasan ang mainstream is really pro-administration. Partly because this administration has shown na marahas sila sa free speech. Yes, marahas sila. First, they took away the franchise of SMNI. Next, they are investigating vloggers. They're investigating fake news. May nagtanong nga sa akin, hindi ba tayo pinagtatawanan ng mundo? Nag-imbestiga ng fake news ang Kongreso ng Pilipinas? When the whole world is pushing towards freer speech. So, ewan. Okay. Libreng sakay. Thank you kay Sarah. Sabi ni Paul, grabe kayo talaga mag-interrupt. Ano? Bakit daw hanggang ngayon wala pa yung investigation result ni Amy Marcos sa Senate website tungkol sa pagkidnap? Ito po ay tinanong ni Mr. Kaufman. Well, dalawa, ang nakikita kong very obvious reasons. Number one, hindi pa tapos yung Senate investigation. Okay. Number two, at bakit hindi pa tapos? Because Senator Amy tried to schedule another hearing, hindi yan inapprove ng Senado. Remember, na ina-approve yan ng Senate President. So at the time that she wanted a third hearing, kasi nakadalawa hindi yan inapprove. Dahil hindi inapprove, hindi natapos. Dahil hindi natapos, wala pa yung findings, final findings. Yung final findings lang po ang maaaring i-upload. Oh, by the way, the Senate President also has a say in what can be posted in the Senate website. So yun ang teorya ko. I don't know if Attorney Kaufman had another thing in mind. However, naipadala naman ni Senadora Amy sa Ombudsman yung findings of the second hearing or first and second hearing where naging respondents tuloy sina General Torre, Secretary Boying et al. Doon sa kaso ngayon na nakahain sa Office of the Ombudsman. Sabi ni Ma'am Ina, I think MSM including the papers, are doing things on purpose to elicit negative reactions from the OVP, but they handle it so well. Kudos to VP and her team, you attorney, and everyone na kasama natin sa laban. Sabi ni Benito, I love that reasoning. During the time of VPs Binay and Robredo, they are allowed to provide medical assistance, in fact cash, particularly for the whole 6 years of Binay and half of the 6th period of Robredo. Yes, guys, kaya nga po binanggit ko. Kasi kanina sinabi nung isa na may burial assistance, pero I remember na wala nga pong funding. Nag-announce po, may announcement po ang OVP tungkol dyan. Sabi ni Jeff, dati may medical assistance, ewan ko ngayon kung meron pa din, pre-planting, tapos po nasa DepEd pa si VP na nagsasama siya ng bata, yung how to be a VP. Sabi ni Yel, naglilibot pa si VP Sara sa Samar, yung announced na walang pang red carpet, walang media. Yun ang maganda kay VP Inday. Tuloy ang trabaho, kiber kung may media, kiber kung wala. Kasi ang importante is nakikita niya yung mga tao, nakakausap, at nakikita niya ang mga kondisyones. The conditions of living in the Philippines, working in the Philippines, studying, making a living. Ano ang estado ng Pilipinas? Because if she is to become our president in 2028, by this time, she's getting the feedback and gagawa siya ng programa at magiging bahagi ito ng kanyang kampanya come 2028. Hindi natin masasabi na si VP Inday ay last minute. Sabi ni Tonet, walang alamang tao kasi hindi covered ng mainstream media. Ay nako. So this is what I'm going to do. Dahil hindi ito kino-cover ng mainstream media, then tayo ang tutulong kay VP Inday. I-check lang natin yung Facebook ng OVP and i-share natin yung mga activities niya of the day. I'm telling you, malaking tulong yan sa kanya. Ay, sabi ni Ma'am Inday Rosel, si George Garcia po kanina nagsabi sa interview ng Net25 na ang sabi po ay nawawala daw po ang pagka-Pilipino ng isang Pilipino kapag nag-asawa ng banyaga. Ginawa kaming bobo. My gosh, he said that? What a racist statement! Hanapin ko yan, ma'am, pag-usapan natin bukas. Teka, sulat ko. Baka makalimutan, mahirap na. Alam niyo naman tayo. So, ayan. Sinabi talaga ni, ma'am, padala niyo po ako ng link, ha? Nawawala. Ay, nako. Holy cow. Sabi ni J.Ann, compare to previous VP, ano yung ikukumpara natin ginagawa? Sabi ni Isagani, bakit ang sakit sa ulo magpaliwanag ni unclear? Unclear na. Hindi ko po alam. Iba talaga yung style niya. And unfortunately, yan ang gusto ng presidente. Kasi she won't be able to do that if the president doesn't like her style. So, gusto nila Gusto ni, or whoever is in control. Sabi ni Ma'am Eyada, Manila Times po ba yung kay Tamba? Opo. Sabi ni Wonder Woman, ang dami namin mag-ambagan na lang po kung need po nila ng pera. I don't think that's the issue right now. It's a little more complicated than that. Hintayin na lang natin manggaling sa pamilya yung kwento. Sabi ni Razel's dad, I think po yung comment ni ComSelect Chair ay based sa 1937 Constitution na the wife takes the husband's nationality upon marriage. 1935 po yung Constitution. Sige, well, tingnan natin. Sabi ni Ma'am Ina, hoy, ba't ganun ka, Chairman Garcia? Hindi din naman ibig sabihin na nag-asawa ako ng Italian ay Italian na ako. Hindi nawala pagka-Pilipino ko. In fact, mas nabuhay dugo ko dahil sa mga pangyayari sa Pilipinas. Napaka-racist naman. Okay, but sige, tama si Razel's dad. Check natin kung ano exactly yung sinabi. Baka naman nagagalit tayo ng unnecessarily. Sayang naman yung panggamot sa high blood. Ay, totoo, sabi ni Ma'am Glea. Okay? So, para matulungan natin si VP Inday. And pansinin niyo, si VP Inday is not the type of cramps. Ngayon pa lang, minamanage niya na lahat ito. At yung kanyang pag-iikot, it's to gather information. This is how people are living. This is the state. This is the condition of the Filipino people. What can she do? What programs should she undertake? Should she run for president? Ano ang magiging programa niya sa kanyang kampanya? Ano yung mga ipopropose niya para umigi ang buhay ng bawat Pilipino? The Vice President keeps in touch. Yun yung kaya nagtataka ako bakit pinagdidiskitahan yung mga travels niya. Pag nagta-travel naman siya, mini-meet niya yung mga OFW. Di gaya ng ibang tao doon. May pagkakataon na ma-meet yung mga OFWs doon sa isang bansa. Anong ginawa? Hindi niya mini. Maaaring, sabi ni Penny Boy, maaaring may maniwala sa fake news, pero obvious naman ang fake news at hindi na kailangan imbestigahan. Kaunting paliwanag lang yan sa mga naniwala. At timing din. O halimbawa, with VP Inday dito, sinasalag niya yung mga mainstream media na headlines na napakamali, na malayo. Kahit maliit rin lang yung well, so far wala tayong nakikitang maliit na taliwas, talagang maling-mali, kino-correct niya. Naggagawa siya ng statement, inilalabas niya yung statement para hindi nila pwedeng kontrolin yung narrative. Now, she also answers kapag interviews. So, and the Vice President has been making herself available for interviews. Tignan nyo yan, ha? Ang administrasyon, kontrolado na nila. Maraming media assets ang national government. You have PTV, you have IDP, you have Radyo Pilipinas, you have, di ba, pareho yan, AM and FM radio. So you have TV, you have radio, and then you have social media. And then you have a palace press briefer. You have a press secretary. You have press, an actual printing presses. Diba? Ang daming assets ng gobyerno when it comes to media. Kabisado natin yan. But, sino yung pinakamagaling? Sino yung hinahanap ng mga tao? It's the Vice President. Okay? Why? Because she's media savvy. Ngayon, kahit ayaw ng mainstream na i-report siya, there's always something happening that puts her back front and center. So wag natin din kakalimutan yan. Kasi pag dumating 2026, 2027, lalakas yung siraan. Iingay ng iingay ang social media at saka mainstream media para bakbakan siya, para bigyan ng duda, o lagyan tayo magtanim ng duda sa isip natin, sa capability niya maging presidente, sa talento niya, sa leadership qualities niya. That will be yan po ang ia-attempt ng mga ambisyoso na nasa administrasyon and even those that are not there. Hindi lang yon, marami magpapabango, magpapakyut-pakyut para sila yung maging vice-presidente and so on. Keep your eyes peeled. Be sensitive sa mga attempts to discredit her. Ngayon, from the point of the 2025 elections, the moment na maraming naipanalo tayo ng mga kampi natin, although not enough, and then of course we're still questioning the 2025 elections, mahalaga na we will maintain our protective stance on those people who will try to destroy unreasonably our Vice President. Sabi ni Ivy, yung sinabi po ng si Attorney Odi Bukoy, natuloy ang impeachment. Ang kaso daw ay VP Sara versus the people of the Philippines. Parang baliktad, di ba? People of the Philippines. Well, usually, he's trying to spin it. Alam nyo kasi yung people versus ganyan, nag-aamoy criminal case. But of course, an impeachment case is sui generis. It is neither criminal nor civil. Nor it's more akin to an administrative case. Kasi ang pinakamalalang penalty na maipapataw sa isang taon na convict sa impeachment court ay pagtatanggal at disqualification. So, parang they want to make it look a little worse. Spinning din po yan. I mean, it's not completely wrong. The congressmen are called representatives, di ba? Pero yung sabihin niya na people versus Inday Sara yan. Because obviously in the last survey, and by the way, this isn't the only survey that said that. Boy says, pag si VP bumisita sa ibang bansa, naglalabasan mga OFWs. Kaya no choice siya, i-meet niya talaga. Yung iba presidential presidente na ng bansa, wala pang megawatt. Kaya mga OFWs ayaw siyang puntahan. Sabi ni Tatay, tanging hiling ko lang sa outgoing ombudsman na maipublish man lang sana kahit konting details tungkol sa mga nakabinbin ng mga kaso laban sa mga nag-a-apply na pumalit sa ombudsman. Isa lang naman so far ang meron si Sec Boying. O, di ba? Ganito yun hindi kailangan gawin yan. Kasi isa doon sa mga documents na kailangan isumiti sa Judicial and Bar Council ay clearance from the Office of the Ombudsman. So, no clearance, no interview yan. Sabi ni Julian's World, people of the Philippines versus HOR. Sabi ni Ma'am Mita, nag-start na po yan, Attorney Saywar. Oo. Sabi ni Ma'am Bernadette, focus din sa COMELEC, lalo na kay George Garcia. Dahil siya lahat may kasalanan, bakit ang gulo ngayon? Talo na, pinapapanalo pa na. I took an even closer look at the Benny Abante case. Kailangan natin talaga ng visual aid. Naubusan lang ako ng oras to do it for tonight, so I'll have to do it for tomorrow. Na ang weird talaga ng pinagdaanan ng kaso na yan. And yes, now, even more than ever, naniniwala ako na, parang COMSELEC nga, naniniwala na ako at naiintindihan ko na kung bakit ganyan yung pakiramdam ng mga tao na it wasn't an election, it was a selection. Sabi ni Ma'am Maria, pasensya na po but I can't help notice your eyeglasses. Ang cute po ng color back. Uy, salamat po, Shopee. Teka, hanapin ko nga kung saan po nakuha sa Shopee. Mura lang po ito. These are just anti-blue light glasses. Kasi I noticed na medyo nadidisrupt yung tulog ko pag masyadong matagal akong nagsa-screen time, na mayroon akong screen time. And it has so far worked for me. Na mas maganda na ang tulog ko pag naka-blue light glasses ako pag nagko-computer. Hanapin natin yun, Para lang dun sa mga ayun, Maddox PH. This is a Maddox Olga anti-radiation, anti-blue light glasses. Sabi ni Ma'am Ofelia, itong mga media, may mga anak, saka mga relatives na for their future generations, isipin sana nila ang future ng Pilipinas, nagaganda sa kamay ng VP Sara, hindi for their own selfish ambitions. May problema kasi, there's some propagandists na naniniwala sa propaganda nila. Sabi ni Ma'am Lourdes, natatandaan ko din, attorney, bago sila mag-start ng kampanya, halos nag-ikot siya ng nakamotor. And I love her for that. Mas lalo ako humanga sa kanya. Ano yun? At sa mga proyekto na talagang para sa mga tao. Sabi ni Ma'am Marlene, nag-grant na raw po ng ICC pre-trial chambering motion ng lawyers ni PRD tungkol sa jurisdiction. Kung mapush po na yun, wala na talagang jurisdiction. I-double check na natin yan. Kasi so far, ang pinaka-recent developments are still just on the on the interim release. So ma'am, if meron pong ganyan, padala niyo po ako ng link kasi hindi ko po siya nakikita. Hindi ko po siya nakikita na meron ginrant sa defense. Sabi ni Boy, pwede ba to bitiam ko na lang speaker, baka magkapag-asa pa ang HOR? Sa akin, as long as it's not Martin Romano. I'm pretty sure that there will be major improvements. Pwede ba ma-impeach yung COMELEC chairman? Opo, impeachable official talaga siya. Sabi ni Ma'am Inday Rosel, kapareho ka po ng religious belief ni Abante. Po, ang religious belief ni Abante. Pero naiinis ako na pastor po siya, then why he accept na ganitong strategy para manalo siya. Ma'am Inday. Ang sakit, no? Nang nararamdaman nyo. Hey, no. I got you a scratching mat. My cat was trying to scratch yung ano ko sa likod. Yung parang arko ko dito sa likod. Okay, para dun sa mga nagtatanong, okay, recap na lang po natin. Sa mga nagtatanong tungkol sa application ni Secretary Boying Remulla para sa posisyon ng Ombudsman dahil magre-retire na po si Justice Sam Martires ng July 27. Controversial po ang pag-a-apply ni Secretary Boying for two reasons. Number one, politician siya. At ang isang politician, sanay po yan sa pakiusapan. Sanay yan sa mga ganyan. Bukod pa dyan, he's a member of a political dynasty. Ang dami niyang kamag-anak na nakaupo sa pwesto. Kamag-anak pa lang yan. At dahil politika, I'm very sure na marami din siya mga kaibigan, associates, relatives, and so on, na posible na humingi, na makiusap kapag siya na ay nasa ombudsman, nasa office of the ombudsman. Politiko din siya at identified siya strongly with the Marcos administration and against the Dutertes. So, ang laki ng kaba ng ilang mga tao na posible niyang gamitin ang kanyang tanggapan para sa mga political purposes. Hindi natin sinasabi necessarily na siya po ay magiging taliwas sa batas o maglalabag sa batas. Gayon pa man, di ba, ano yung sinasabi nila sa Caesar's wife's doctrine? Hindi lang kailangan na maayos ka at sumusunod ka sa batas. Kailangan you look that way too. You must look like you must appear and be a person who obeys the law. Pag ngayon pa lang pinagdududahan ka ng mga tao kahit wala kang mga kaso, that doesn't bode well. The people must be able to trust officials whose job is to be objective. Paano natin pagkakatiwalaan ng isang politiko? Hindi pa rin natin nakakalimutan, natural, yung kaso ng kanyang anak na in record time na dismiss. Record time. Ano yun? 1 month? 2 months? The second reason is mayroon pa po siyang kaso. At hindi siya, malaki ang possibility na hindi siya makakuha ng clearance from the Office of the Ombudsman. So what is he going to do? kung siya ay porsigido, will he attempt to ask for a waiver of this requirement? Will he attempt to ask for a waiver of any requirement sa kanyang sa kanyang application? Aba, kapag may winave na requirement dyan, particular na dyan, yung clearance ng Office of the Ombudsman, muling malalagasan ng tiwala, ito konti na nga lang, ang taong bayan doon sa tanggapan ng Ombudsman.